It's that time of year again. Yes, when the spooks and ghouls come out, you know it's time for more Rice Krispies Squares. Hey everyone, welcome to Walking the Candy Aisle. My name is Jeff, and today we are reviewing the Rice Krispies Squares, or you might know them as Rice Krispie Treats. They are branded under different things in different places. In Australia, they're called LCM for some reason. I don't know what that means, but that's what I read on the internet. But this is a packaged Rice Krispie Square or Rice Krispie Treat. Fascinating history that I just read 3 versions of on the internet. But actually, I don't know how fascinating it is. Kellogg's invented this thing. So it is a history, though. But I'm not totally sure why the Rice Krispie Treat has become associated, like, especially this little fun-size version of it, has become associated with Halloween. That's what time of year it is, if you're watching this at some other time. I'm not sure why, like, this is a thing. I think that maybe it's just, like, parents want to give out a candy, but they don't want to give out, kind of parents who don't want to give out, like, a super sugary candy, like, convince themselves that, like, this is better. And, like, you know, God knows, this is, like, it's like, what are you going to get? Like, this or, like, some raisins or something? Come on. This is definitely better than that. But, like, this is not really healthy, right? It's not. It's marshmallow, butter, and Rice Krispies. That's kind of the deal. I'm sure there's a lot more in this packaged version of it, but yeah, it's not like a super healthy treat. But I do think that people consider it healthier than, say, you know, your average chocolate bar, which I suppose is possible that it is. There's kind of the ingredients, if you can read that. Maybe I'll get a better shot of that when I open it. There's Snap, Crackle, and Pop, of course, the Rice Krispies mascots. This is the mini size. This is like the fun size that they give out at Halloween. I live in Canada. That's why this is called a square. But like I said, and why there's French on it. But like I said, this is branded under, various names in different countries. All roughly the same thing, though, right? Like, it's a crispy treat. You can make these at home. It's like a super simple recipe. Melt a bunch of marshmallows in a pan, add some butter, mix it all up, add the Rice Krispies, mix it all up, you know, press it down into like a baking dish, and then just let it cool. That's it. That's all there is to it. It's it. Then just cut it into squares and eat and enjoy. It's delicious. So the brief history while I open this, I'm going to give you the annotated, the quick version of this, though. Rice Krispies were invented in 1927, hit shelves in 1928. There was Melissa Jensen and Mildred Day were 2 women who worked at the Battle Creek, Michigan Kellogg's plant on the Rice Krispies brand. And they worked in the kitchens doing new recipes. And at the time, what they would do is if they came up with a new recipe, parts of their team, or sometimes them, I guess in this case, could go out on the road and would teach, like in like a traveling kitchen sort of style, teach people how to make new recipes. So I guess sort of makes sense. Sounds like a very like 1930s, 1940s thing to do. Anyway, so Mildred and Melita, I think was her name, came up with this idea of marshmallows, possibly based on an earlier puffed wheat and molasses recipe, but they thought that marshmallows might be a little cleaner. But that's basically it. And then they went out and the Campfire Girls, which I assume is like the Girl Scouts of the time, went out and sold them door to door in 1920. That was in 1939. So 1928, Krispies are hit shelves. 1939, this recipe is on the streets of, I don't know where, Battle Creek somewhere, or probably, I don't know. It wasn't there. It was somewhere else. Maybe it was back in Iowa. And then by 1941, Kellogg's is printing this recipe on their packaging. So that's how oftentimes a lot of people will become exposed to this. Like, I remember when I was a kid, before these were prepackaged, these became Kellogg started packaging these and selling them individually in 1995. I remember when I was a kid, I always had these when, like, you'd see the recipe on the packaging, like, oh yeah, Rice Krispie treats. I forgot about that. I haven't had them in ages. And then we'd make some. I still don't really get the like Halloween connection. I don't think there really is a good one. I actually think that this is a very cozy kind of a treat. It's got a lot of nostalgia for a lot of people. This would be really a better fit for a Christmas treat, if you ask me. But Christmas treats are often more, I don't know, warm and homey, and I don't know. Maybe this should be a Christmas treat. Maybe it is a Christmas treat where you are, but I don't know. Anyway, let's give it a try. It's Krispies marshmallows and butter. I've certainly had this before. This is the packaged version, like I said, though. Delicious. You can see the soft gooiness. The great thing about making this at home is that you can level it yourself. Sorry. You can do the levels yourself. So if you want it a little gooier, make it a little gooier. You run into Krispies, not to be offensive to some people, but like substitute a different cereal. Have you ever tried this with cornflakes? It works. It's not crazy. Yeah, this is really good. It's very sweet. Wow. I don't think I've had a Rice Krispie treat in a minute. Maybe, I probably had one last year at Halloween time. But, boy, that's really sweet. Do you think they over-sweeten it, like extra sweeten it in this packaged version? I bet they would. I bet the last Krispies I had were ones I made myself. Huh. Well, cereal, rice, sugar, salt. Yeah. I don't know. Anyway, this tastes a little sweeter, like it's enhanced sweetness. I still think that this is probably a treat best made on your own, but this is a really high quality treat, dessert, snack. I don't know really how you classify this. It's a little too much like candy to be a standard snack. But I don't know if you classify it as in the same category as a chocolate bar. Well, you know what? There I am falling into the exact same trap as what I think parents might be saying to themselves when they're giving this out to kids at Halloween. And look, if you're a kid and you're getting this, you're not passing it up, but like would you trade it? I guess there's a question. Would you trade it? It's pretty big. Would I trade it for like a fun-sized pack of Skittles? Yeah, probably. Unless I already had a lot of fun-sized packs of Skittles. You'd have to figure out the economics of that on your own. I don't know. I think it's up to you. For me, the Rice Krispie treat on its own, I think it's a solid dessert. I think it's really, really good. I don't know if I'd go so far as to give it a 5, especially this version of it, a 5 out of 5. It does have a lot of nostalgia for me, and I'm sure a lot of people would give it a full marks 5 out of 5. This packaged version of it does taste a little overly sweet to me. Or maybe it's just that it's like, whatever it is, it's like 8:30 in the morning when I'm doing this review. It's very early. I think I need some coffee. Yeah. So I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5, but why don't you guys let me know what you think in the comments below. Good, bad, indifferent? Do you like these made at home? Do you have your own variants of this that you make? Are there other versions that would be better, you think? I think some people put things like chocolate in it or like other things, or maybe they make it into different, like it's a part of a cake or something. I don't know. There's things that people do with this because it can be sort of sculpted and molded into all sorts of things. Like I was watching some cake baking show. What was that? I don't know what it was. There's so many of them. And a lot of people like would use, if you're making like a crazy custom cake, you might use Rice Krispie and then cover it in fondant, because Rice Krispies can be formed into like all sorts of nutty shapes, right? So if you want a really outlandish, weird shape for your cake, you might use it. So it's got a very versatile sort of use in construction, in food construction. Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of elements to it that I think make it great, especially considering how simple it is. So it's a solid 4 out of 5. Definitely one to check out. If you hadn't had it, like, just try it. Maybe look up a recipe for the first time you're making it at home, because you want to get those amounts right until you just sort of get a feel for it. But otherwise, you should definitely just try it. I'd probably say make it at home rather than buy this, because, why? I guess maybe the nice thing about this is I could throw this into my kids' lunches. Can I? There's no peanuts or anything in it, obviously. Yeah. So if you want to send your kid with like a treat to school, this is a pretty solid like lunch dessert. That's definitely where I put this, in that kind of category. It's a lunch dessert that you're not going to be like embarrassed about eating like a whole Snickers bar at the end of your lunch. Yeah, do you know what I mean? Okay. Anyway, I should stop talking. Thanks very much for watching, everyone. I will catch you next time. Happy Halloween. Bye-bye.